we got antisocial behaviour. We've always had antisocial behaviour. I think what we're finding anecdotally, certainly what's been fed back to me from community and community leaders, is that the antisocial behaviour that we're having, even though it might not be higher in terms of numbers, the mindset of people committing antisocial behaviour is they feel it's more menacing. So what I mean by that is that it's 10-year-old children, rather than shouting names as they maybe did before, are now chucking stones. So there's a feeling, I think, amongst the community that there's an escalation in the behaviour.
That's absolutely true. Let me tell you, the other day, a 10-year-old clobbered a doorman the other day in York. You're seeing this on people on bikes menacing pedestrians in the pedestrianised zones of York, aren't you? There is a sort of feeling that they can do anything that they want.
Well, that may be the case, but no, they can't do anything that they want. And our response here is we still go out and we still patrol the streets. We still deal with antisocial behaviour. But what we're trying to do here with the film that we're making is that we're trying to share the responsibility in terms of prevention. So what we're trying to say to young people and to parents is, A, there's a danger in alcohol. So watch what you're drinking, understand what it does to your body, and understand the reaction that you get from it. And what we're saying to parents is, young people will go out. Of course they'll go out. But do you know what they're doing when they're out? Do you know that if they're involving themselves in dangerous behaviours, such as drinking alcohol? Now, I know young people have drunk alcohol for generations, but there is, for me at the moment, a mindset, a sort of viewpoint in terms of the way that young people are approaching community issues. Their inhibitions, put it that way, feel that they're lower than they have been in the past.
Can I put to you what I know a lot of people will say?
Yes.
All right. The reason is not because of the parents, but it's because if you stop somebody on a bike in the city of York and say you shouldn't be doing that, they'll say, who's going to stop me? Certainly not the police. They don't perceive that there are enough police officers around, so they can get away with it. That's what some people will say. Now, I know you're stretched, I know you have problems like everybody else, but what do you say to that?
Well, I think we've always been, we've always had the same number of police officers. In fact, we've got more police officers now than we had 12 months ago.
It doesn't feel like it, though.
No, it may not feel like it, but we are there. And the issue is, it's about, when you look at taking responsibility for behaviours, it is not just for the police to make sure that a young person behaves themselves. There has to be a responsibility on parents. There has to be a responsibility on guardians. There has to be a responsibility on young people.
But some parents can't even look after their kids. That's why we have social services. We do rely on the police a lot to police our streets and to make ourselves feel safe on them. So why does it feel to these people like you're not around? Is it because the too many are in vans, or is it because, COVID has hit staffing numbers or something like that?
No, COVID hasn't hit staffing numbers. Staffing numbers are there. As I've said before, we've got more police officers than we had before. Demand has gone up. The demand has gone up, and again, that is around antisocial behaviour, crime, in terms of non-policing, general policing issues such as dealing with missing from homes, mental health issues. So that demand has gone up, and we do have to deal with that because we're the agency that deals with that. But in terms of dealing with that demand, we are still working very hard to deal with the demand, but it's always been the same in my view in terms of antisocial behaviour. It's about the responsibility is put, in my view, onto the police, and it should be, but that responsibility should be shared.